have a BA in government from Claremont McKenna College, which is a top liberal arts college in Southern California. In terms of our curriculum, we of course draw insights from 200 plus former admission officers. So any top school you can think of, we've had an FAO who's contributed, insights from their admissions review process. I think there are a number of different things that admission officers are looking for in students who are interested in business. They especially want to see strong quantitative and analytical aptitude. The SAT math section is really important for undergraduate business applicants. You want to be able to develop a clear and focused interest in business. So the first strategy here is taking the interdisciplinary approach. So you can perhaps add a secondary academic discipline to your business studies. So for example, let's think business plus coding or environmental science or economics plus history or international studies. The other, of course, is to have a hyper-focused approach. So in other words, you're zooming in on a specific aspect of business, pursuing activities related to that highly specific interest at a high level. Demonstrated excellence in business-related activities. It's important to have these kind of activities, but what's going to set you apart is the level of impact in leadership in these business-related activities. It means sustained involvement in them throughout high school, having tangible achievements, having significant impact, winning, right, in those different competitions, and also leadership, right? Sion writes, do they sometimes factor in school rankings? So that is a good question. I would say that high school context is important when it comes to the admissions process. One thing that you can look up is called the common data set, which most top universities will publish. And there's a section where they list the different how important they consider the different factors in the admissions process. And one of them is rigor of your secondary school record. They're sending what's called a school profile, which is a 1 to 2 page document that outlines what your school offers in terms of courses, the history of, past students who have gotten to which universities, their like SAT or ACT threshold, like averages, right, or range. The high school you come from has an influence, but it's only one factor. If your school offers Calculus 2 and Stats, and I take Calculus 1 in your junior year, which one should you take your senior year? My recommendation would be Calculus 2 over the Stats. If you can do both, that's great. Historically, admission officers, place a stronger value and emphasis on the calculus curriculum, I would say. Statistics, I think, could be important, especially if you have like a data component to your business interest, right? Maybe you're interested in business data analytics. So I think it really depends on like, what is your focus here for your application persona. If you want to be able to speak with us and like get a sense of like, okay, how competitive am I for these kind of programs, or like what should I be doing to get to that point where I am competitive, you can scan the QR code. We could talk more, separately.